Welcome everybody to the first ever episode of Weird Cars, where we take a look at some of the weirdest cars ever released by Mattel, including weird variants and just weird releases and weird errors. So this series is completely run by you guys, the viewers, so let me know what cars you want me to cover in a future episode in the comments. Alright, so let's get started. MaxDF wanted me to talk about Fred and all the Fred variants and the size change. So I decided that I want to make this an episode 1 because it's such an interesting issue. So let's get started. So Mattel decided that they wanted to, so apparently I guess Mattel thought that Fred was way too big. In my opinion, he's really not. That's honestly not a problem at all, in my opinion. I own the original Fred, the one that apparently is too big, and I really don't see any problems with it at all. I feel like it's a much better choice than what they eventually switched it to, which of course was that weird, tiny little Fred that's used to this day on Fred releases. Should they change it back? I honestly think so. But here's what I believe, and you guys hopefully should be seeing some pictures on screen if I decide to include them of my Fred compared to a McQueen, etc. And now, yeah, the little Fred is incredibly tiny. I don't own him, but I do think he's bigger than Uncle Topolino and Mama Topolino. But honestly, he's just so odd, so small. And aside from the side changes, which MaxDF did mention, there were a bunch of other odd issues with Fred Diecast, so I'll get to in a minute. For now, I do just want to continue talking about the size changes. They haven't changed him back, and he's just way too tiny. Of course, Fred as a character looks a whole lot like Otis. Here on the screen, I'll put up this picture of the comparison of the original release of Fred compared to the new one. Oh my gosh, it's such a difference. I just found these pictures now incredibly different. That's just crazy in my opinion. I really don't see why his size had to be cut down. Continuing with that exact issue, I believe that he should be about the size of Otis. Now, Otis, of course, is a car that looks very similar to Fred. And, well, Otis is actually, his size is in the middle of Big Fred, well, the original Fred, and Small Fred, the new Fred. So I believe that Fred, from here on out, should be about the size of Otis. I believe that's the best possible path to take for this car. That's just what I believe. Now, aside from, again, just talking about that, I really want to bring up the odd variants of Fred. Fred has quite a few chases, actually. You have Fred with bumper stickers and Fred with fallen bumper. Now, of course, in the movie, Fred, his bumper, one of his main character traits is his bumper will always fall off. It's kind of like his jaw is dropping. He's super surprised, but it's also because of how old a car he is. You could say he's a lemon, honestly. But here's the problem. Fred with fallen bumper's bumper is barely moved. It's just like his mouth is a bit more open. Instead, if it's called Fred with fallen bumper, I believe that the Fred should not come with a bumper. It should come without a bumper. Even weirder, though, this Fred has the bumper stickers on him from the Fred with bumper stickers release. I honestly don't understand this. So, yeah, that's what I think on the issue. Let me guys know what you all, in the comments, what you all think about Fred and his weird variants, and how you think this issue could be fixed so he's no longer a weird car. Bye now.